Basically, tonight's topic is about governance and moving forward with this new golden age that we're in. It's really, first of all, I want to explain, like how I feel doing this. It's really an honor for me to be able to sit here and share freely. And it's not only an honor, but I feel like it's my duty as a sworn soldier, both naturally and contractually. And it's also my duty to serve the Australian public and that of the world, but especially the Australian public who literally pays my wage. I'm on a disability pension from my service, and that money is coming from you people, the people of Australia. And for that, I really thank you. And I've just pulled. I really, thank you. And I'm very grateful that I've been able to have the journey I have and explore and learn and grow as I have been. A little bit about why I'm wearing the beret. So what this beret signifies to me is not only my service in the commandos, which was a very big training, and it was a real milestone for me. It was a real achievement, physically, mentally, and it's a representation of my commitment to my country and my service, and my willingness to sacrifice all and anything and myself for my country that I love and the people of it. And again, I extend that to the planet. Yeah, so I'm going to use the the training that I went through to earn this beret was extremely challenging and tough, and I really feel like that was training not only for my service whilst employed in the military, but also for my service now, which I'm really feeling blessed to be doing. And I wish to serve the people still with honour and integrity and courage and strength and fortitude and altruism and integrity and all the things that seem to be missing in this governance that we're receiving at the moment, not only in Australia but other parts of the world. A little bit about myself. So I grew up in a pretty conventional home, steady diet of TV and good Italian cooking from my beautiful mum. I left school pretty early. I think it was about halfway through year 9. I left school and started working, doing jobs, building. I did some factory work. I worked in a restaurant, and then I joined the military. And I've just spoken a little bit about that service. But the reason I joined the military was, in fact, to serve my country, just like most other people that join is to serve their country and to honour their country. And I'm very grateful to have served with those men and women. And that's a little bit about myself. So the reason why I'm doing this video is because I travel the world a lot. I pretty much travel, my whole life, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm just noticing some common themes that really do not resonate with me, and do not resonate with most of the population of the earth, to be honest. From what I've received from the people I've spoken to, and this isn't going to be pertinent to everybody, but I think majority are going to really feel and resonate with what I'm saying tonight. Now this video will go for a little while. I've got a fair bit to get through. Please stay with me. If anything happens, I'm recording it. I was meant to be recording it on my computer as well. So I'm just going to start now. So I will be uploading that to YouTube if it cuts out like it usually does or not. I'm really feeling a lot of energy at this time. I haven't really had a lot of sleep except for last night. The last few nights, just I've had a lot of information and things coming to me, and a lot of feelings and thoughts about this post because of the gravity of it and what it means and what it represents. Basically, what we're forgetting as a species is that we are natural sovereign beings, not only of this earth but of the universe. What that means is so deep and so profound, and the reason why I'm mentioning this is because we have been misled, and we have forgotten what we are and our self-worth and where we come from. And what this does when we forget this is it allows things to creep in. It allows self-doubt. It allows giving our power away to other people, to other groups, organisations, whatever it may be. We forget who we are and what we are, and this is probably the biggest reason why we allow these things to happen to us and around us. And I do say we allow it to happen because we allow it to happen. The state that we are in as a collective is because we have allowed that to happen. We may want to blame certain people or organisations, but the truth is that we are allowing it to happen, and we need to remember what we are, and we need to stop it. So, yeah, it's for me, it's really hard to witness what we're going through, and I just I can't do it anymore. I can't just let it go. I can't just sit with that anymore. I can't sleep knowing and seeing what's going on. And what I'm going to speak about is factual. All the evidence, you can just look it up online. You have the information database of the whole planet at your fingertips, and I urge you to use that and question everything I say. You question and you research it yourself. If it interests you, if it resonates with you, you look that up and you research it. It doesn't take long, it takes you 2 minutes to do a Google search. And I'm going to take us back a little bit. I'm going to take us, where we are now, a little bit back, and how we're going to move forward. So it's not doom and gloom. This is a very positive step, and I'm doing this out of pure love. For the planet and for the people that reside here. One thing I'm noticing, people are confused with the energies. We're receiving a lot of different energy, and this is affecting the consciousness of the planet, and people that are not so aware or in touch with their spirituality, they're not sure what's going on, and they're seeking assistance outside, which may lead them to professionals or whatnot. But people need to understand what these energies are, and that these are natural energies coming from the cosmos. We're evolving, basically. And when I speak of consciousness, so I've tried to think of the most basic, the most simple word using the English alphabet, which only has 26 letters, but I only need 3 of those letters, and I'm going to use one of them twice. And I want you to think about consciousness as Wi-Fi, and and I say Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi is an information network. You cannot see it, you cannot feel it. Well, you can feel it, but you can't see it. You can't tangibly feel it. But it's information, and it is passing through the air. It's passing through your body. That is what consciousness is, but on a universal scale. And I've heard a lot lately. People saying, like, people aren't ready. People aren't ready to move forward. People aren't ready for this. People aren't ready for that. And I really disagree strongly. I believe that everybody is ready and wants peace, and everybody wants to feel, and everybody wants love and joy, and they don't want to be sick, and I believe, given the information and the knowledge, the people will. They will move forward naturally because that's what they crave, that's what they want, that's what we need, to evolve. There's no other way about it. And I believe that we're in a historical moment in time, and what happens here, how we act as a collective, it really is a very important time in history, and it's going to shape the next 10,000 years. It's not about just us. This planet is going to be around for a lot longer than you and I, and we need to make sure that it stays that way, in a healthy way. And I must say, ignorance is no longer bliss. Those that are unaware of what is being done to them, it's not a blissful place to be. What I'm witnessing is people are just sick. People, like, physically sick. They are ill. They are confused. They are unhappy. They're trying to escape their life that should be a blissful, beautiful experience. What a gift we are to be sitting in these bodies. And people are really, they don't want to be here. They want to, they're wishing their time away. Time is our most valuable asset. Time is the one thing that we have that we cannot control. We cannot, we need to make use of it. We need to enjoy it, and we need to love it, and not run from it. And complacency, I feel like a lot of people say, like, just let it happen, let the natural process take its course, and yeah, of course, and we'll do it with love, which we're going to do. We're doing it with love, but we also need action. We cannot just stand by anymore, because the truth is that we are getting killed out there, literally being killed, without even knowing it, for most of us. So it is time to wake up, and to acknowledge, and to learn, and to educate the self, and to take charge and take power of your life. And the time is now. There's no one else coming to do it. If you're waiting for someone to come along and tell you, like, oh yeah, this is it. Well, this is your wake-up call. This is your message. I'm here to tell you that the time is now, and we must act, and we must move forward without fear, and with courage and confidence, and certainty that we know what we're doing. And we need to assert that, if people are laughing or questioning or whatnot, then we need to educate them. That is our job as a holder of the knowledge. It is our job to share that and to educate the people that are uneducated. And on that, in my experience, that is one of the hardest things that I've had to do, is to try and wake people up to what is happening to them. Well, the hardest thing is to convince somebody, or to share with somebody something that hasn't come through their TV screen, or they haven't read in the newspaper. these newspapers, these TVs, they're all owned by the same people, the same group of people. All the media that comes through the Australian TV first goes through the AAC, which is an organisation which filters the information out to all the rest of them. So it's being controlled by one organisation. You're not getting different information. You need to look for that, and you need to search for that. And again, yeah, it's really hard to remind people how divine they are, what their true essence is as a human being, as a natural sovereign being of this planet. So I don't think it's going to be an easy job. It certainly isn't, but stick with it, because that's why we're here, is to uplift, and we can't move forward as a collective until everyone's there. People are afraid to use their voice. People are afraid to speak out, and rightfully so, because in the history shows that people that do speak out or anything like that usually get silenced in ways that are being witnessed. It doesn't matter what you get away with on this earthly plane. Everything is being witnessed from up here. And you will face that karma if you are responsible for that. So it's time to move forward without fear and with trust. I'm going to go on with the topics. I'm going to have a breath. First thing I talk briefly about is the masculine and the feminine. As a collective, we are so divided. We have forgotten our natural roles as a male and a female, and I don't say this in a sexist way. I think everyone is entitled to do as they please and what makes them feel good. But as a whole, we've had the women's right movement, and for those of you that don't know, actually the women's right movement was funded by the Rockefellers, not to empower women, but so that they could tax the other 50% of the population. It's a beautiful thing to see women empowered, and I love all my sisters, and it's so beautiful. What we're seeing now is people stepping up and voicing, and women using their voice. It's so beautiful. But we're moving away from our roles. We're moving away from the masculine and the food provider and the woman as a nurturer, and we're sort of getting confused. Our energies are getting confused, and that's happening as a collective. Yeah, sometimes with that, it's almost like there's a bit of ego comes into it now. We get lost in our egos. We get lost in, well, I can do this and I can do that and da-da-da. And that's beautiful, All of you can do anything. We can all do anything that we want, anything that we put our minds to, absolutely. But you don't have to do it just to prove something to somebody else. If you're going to do it because it resonates with you and it makes you feel good, and that's it. Education. I want to talk a little bit about education. Our education system is we're actually regressing. We're going backwards, where the schools are not getting taught more information. Actually, information's getting taken away, and they're moving backwards. So it doesn't make sense to me, but that's what's happening. I believe we need to be teaching, we need to be educating people on how energy works. When you understand how energy works, you can work out pretty much anything. When you have a grasp of the fundamental basics of how things work and how they operate, and it's really not that complicated. Nature is not so complicated, and that's the beautiful thing about nature, is everything is the way it is, but it is quite easy to understand. And if you can't understand it, then maybe we're not supposed to. But we should be teaching about energy. We should be teaching the fundamentals about our body, about our health, about what we are, where we come from. The Constitution. We stopped teaching the Constitution in our schools. What was it, about maybe in the 70s or the 80s, I can't remember, but we need to be reinstating this, and we need to be teaching people need to know what their basic human and constitutional rights are, so that they cannot be violated by any system or governance or law enforcement. Know your rights, learn your rights. The Constitution, it is there to protect you and to protect the people, and we need to be teaching that again in school. Money is a really big one. We have become slaves to money. Money is created to serve the people, the natural people. We are not slaves to the money. Money does not own us. It is there to serve us, and when it stops serving us, when it no longer serves us, when it enslaves us, it is time for a new system. It is time to move through that system that is no longer working, and it is time to move forward to another system. Again, time is the most valuable. Life is the most valuable. Life and time are the most two precious things that we have, and we need to nurture those, and we need to put those before money, before anything else. Housing, we've got people that are homeless, people that are struggling to pay their rent. Australia, we can't afford to buy a home in Australia unless you're pushed right out to the country because it's so expensive. It's unaffordable. We need to rein in our international sales, and we need to start reducing the housing prices so that Australian people, the youth of Australia, the young Australians, can afford to put a roof over their head if that's the way they choose to go. No more outsourcing, no more selling off to foreign because it's pushing the price up, and we can't afford to live. Looking forward into the Golden Age, and I'm going to go a step further than reducing the house prices. I believe that we have the ability, we have the resources, not only to house everybody, but to house them for free. Every Australian deserves to have a roof over their head just because you are a sovereign being of this country. Our resources are being taken. Nobody owns those resources, and that should be funding the houses of Australians. We should have no homeless. We should have no people struggling in poverty. This is supposed to be, one of the whatever they call, what's that word? A developed, one of the most developed countries in the world. Yet we've got so much poverty, and it's. What is told to you and what is actually happening are two completely different things, and this is what we need to address and look into. Energy. There is absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be using and having free, clean energy. There is no need for oil. There is no need for coal. There is no need for any of that anymore. We have abundant energy in the universe. We have the capability to pull it up from the center of the earth. We have the technology, we have the resources. The only thing stopping us from moving forward and having free energy for everybody is the mind, the battle for the mind. As long as we keep in the consciousness that no, that's not possible or that can't be done, then it can't be done. But as soon as everybody turns their mind and knows that that is what they deserve, and that is what's available, then there will be no other option except for that to happen. Same with water. We have the ability to purify salt water to pharmaceutical grade water. There is no reason why that should not be happening or why that isn't happening. That needs to start happening as soon as possible. We can ship water inland. We can start building communities, and when you have unlimited water, you can make anything. You can build gardens. You will have homes. It doesn't matter where you are. But water is life. As long as we have water, we have the ability to make anything anywhere. Health. Health is one that really hits me in my heart, because what I'm seeing, what is happening is destructive. It is literally, people are literally being poisoned without even knowing it, unconsciously, and this must stop. This is a violation of every single natural law there is, and it must stop. There's no reason why we can't tax, junk food. Why is junk food so cheap and organic food, unaffordable for the people that are on low incomes? If you're on a low income, how are you going to afford organic food when it's 2 or 3 times the price of junk food? There's no option but for these people to eat this food that is genetically modified, that is coated with poison and chemicals. And what is going on? Every single Australian, every single citizen of the world should have the right and the ability to eat clean food, organic food, free from toxins and poisons. And there's no other way about it. That is your right. Air. We have the right to breathe clean air. Chemtrails. If you do not believe in chemtrails, you need to wake up, because they are real. There are websites out there. Australian Rain. Look up websites. They tell you this is what's happening. They are putting chemicals into our air. This is the air that we are breathing. We, as a sovereign human being of this earth, have the right to breathe clean air. We are. This is being forced upon us. Forced, or I should say, we are allowing it to happen. It's not being forced upon us, but we are allowing it to happen. So yeah, let's start taxing junk food or removing it completely. Anything that is toxic for consumption for a human being should be taxed very heavily, and that money should be put towards subsidizing clean organic food. There is a solution for you. Make it happen. And if you must genetically modify food, then you must label it clearly with side effects, just like you do with cigarettes, just like you do with anything else toxic, or not everything, but you should be. If that's what you're going to put in there, then you label the side effects and you let people know what they are eating. Medications. I was reading through the side effects of these antidepressants, these side effects of what they tried to give me, or they did give me, and the side effects are so much worse than the symptoms. Like the worst suicidal thoughts, you're going to give someone that is depressed a medication that gives you suicidal thoughts, that makes you shake in your body, that makes you confused, that makes you dizzy, that makes you feel all these horrible things in your body, and that's supposed to make you feel better. What you are being told is completely different to what you are being given. or what you are taking, I should say. Again, we are allowing this to happen, and we are complying, and we are allowing this to happen. Immunisations. I was looking at the H1N1 immunisation. If you think that immunisations are there for your protection, all of them, then you need to do your research, and you need to you need to do your homework, because the H1N1 contains mercury, which is a known neurotoxin. Absolutely scientific. There is no question. Now, the amount that is given to pregnant women or babies is in the guidelines. The baby would have to be 550 pounds to take that amount of mercury. That's only the mercury, and side effects, retardation, immune disorders, all these things. And I know it sounds very negative, but let's look to the positive. So what can we do to change that? How can we change that? Okay, let's say there's a system where if you must go down that path, then you should be trying natural remedies first. You should be trying nutrition. This should be told to you by your doctors. This is their responsibility to make you aware, but this, I believe, that should be the first go-to. There's no other question. There is so many natural healing methods and modalities out there, and people offering their service, and they are more effective. In my experience, they are much more effective than anything medication that I've taken. Plant medicine. Plant medicine, we have these laws in Australia that prohibit human beings from eating a natural plant or ingesting a natural plant. I don't know who got the idea that they have a right to tell another human being what they can or cannot eat. That is put here by the Prime Creator, but that person is incorrect and well misinformed. Every human being has the right to experience, to explore with whatever medicine it is, especially natural plant medicines. I was reading a thing today about this guy. He got arrested, locked up, taken away from his family because he had a serving of mushrooms. This is a fungus, this is a natural plant, a magic mushroom, whatever you want to call it. And he was removed from his family, from his home for, I think it was about a month, because he picked something natural out of the ground. Where are we? What is going on? You can have 3 grams of ice up to 3 grams of ice. Anything after that is trafficking. Psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in mushrooms, you can have 0.15 of a gram. This is a natural healing plant product, and you will be charged with up to 15 years in prison for trafficking if you have any more than 0.15 of a gram of a mushroom. You have got to be kidding me. We're so confused. Law. We need to look at our laws. Our laws are so mixed up and so confused that not even the lawmakers know what is going on. Nobody knows what's going on, because we are having all these laws, bylaws, which are null and void. Truly, in a legal sense, they're null and void. If they conflict with the Constitution, they are null and void. They are worthless. Constitution reigns supreme. So natural law reigns supreme, but the Constitution that protects us is above all else. And we need to remember that. We need to learn that. Nothing can take that away. No new law, no thing anyone passes, nothing can take that away from you. That is your human right. we need to start removing these laws and these bylaws that interfere and intervene with our natural sovereignty of what it means to be a human being. They need to be removed, and anyone that has been charged or anyone that is being penalised through these laws need to be released and reinstated and compensated for what has been done. How do we move through these laws, these bylaws, these false laws that the councils are trying to put on you? Councils are not a legal body; they are a business. They have an ABN. They are not a legal governance. They are a business. That is all a council is. So, how do we move through that? It's basically peaceful non-compliance. As a collective, we just need to say no. You don't even have to acknowledge that anymore. If we all just stop acknowledging it and stop playing that game, then there's nothing else that can be done. The people have spoken, and the people must speak. We must speak. Otherwise, we're just going to get more and more rules and laws put on us that we believe are there for our good, that are sold to us as being there for our good, but they are suppressing us as a natural sovereign. I just want to go back to health for a moment, because I forgot to mention, the positive, and I really think that moving forward into the golden age, we are going to have the ability and the resources, or we already have the resources, but we should be moving back to free health for every single person. There should be no one who is suffering, no one who cannot afford healthcare, no one who's can't pay their bills because of their healthcare or whatever it is. We need free health, and that is what you deserve as a sovereign. That is your right. Law enforcement and military, law enforcement, you need to be held accountable for your actions. What I've seen in the streets of Australia with my own eyes, and I yelled at this undercover policeman. I didn't know he was a cop at the time, but there was a young boy who graffitied or something, allegedly. I didn't see that happen, but it may have. But what this policeman done, who was about 125 kilos, was run and spear tackle this boy that was about 14 years old and weighed all of about 40 kilos. And naturally my blood started to boil, and I got so angry. I went over there and I yelled at him and I said, "What are you doing? You are assaulting that boy," because that is what it is. If a law enforcement officer arrests you and his method of arrest is more severe than the crime, that is a crime against the person that is being arrested, and that officer should be charged as a civilian and punished accordingly, because there is not one law for you and one law for them. It is one law for all, and that's all there's going to be. There's no more. You're not above the law. You're there to serve and protect the people of this country. And globally as well. And don't forget that. I believe we need to retrain our law enforcement. We need to retrain them in humility. We need to remind them who is paying their wage, who is putting a roof over their head. It is you, the people of this country, through your taxes. Don't ever forget that. You people are the payees. You are working to have these people there to protect you, not to abuse you or to control you. Moving forward with our military, I'm really, I believe that soon we're not going to need a military. It's going to be redundant. There is no need for it. No one benefits from it. The soldiers, the people, the people of the country, the people of there's no one who benefits from war. So it's outdated. It's time to move forward. And all those people that are worried about their jobs and their finances, don't worry, because we can use you. You're a human resource that can be used to build and to move forward with this free energy, with moving. We've got so much we need to build in this country to support the people of the country, that there will be jobs going for everybody, not just robots like it's becoming. We're turning into this robot civilization, and what happens to the people when everything's mechanical and robot? Then I'm not sure, but same with our politicians and our courts, our judges, our lawyers. You need to start doing your job. You need to start being accountable for your actions, and you need to start acting in the best interests of the population of this country and the planet. And I'm going to address our politicians a bit more at the end, and I hope you stay with me until the end, because I would like your support in that. Our media needs to be accountable for the information they put out. Our radio stations, they need to start putting out more harmonious frequencies. Our music needs to be made with more harmonious frequency. There's no reason why it's not being done. We need to have real news and real information, important news and important information being put through our TVs, through our media, and that is what you are there for, and it's time to do your job. Technology, in the positive, positively with media, we have this social media, and to look at the power of social media and internet, you just need to look at what happened in America with the election of Donald Trump, whom I support, and the reason that he got in is because of the social media, because of the power of the people, because they are no longer just watching the mainstream news, because we all saw it with our own eyes, how much of a battering that man received from the mainstream media. Now, when those mainstream media are battering somebody, then it probably means there's a reason for it, and there's something that they don't want about him or whatever it is they're battering. But it's probably worth looking into yourself if they do that. Technology, Wi-Fi, smart meters, phones, all these things. We need to really be aware of actually what is happening is we are receiving these frequencies, these EMF, electromagnetic fields. It's all passing through our body. You need to be aware, and you need to take positive steps or action steps to remove that. With your Wi-Fi, you can get cable, have cable. You don't need all those frequencies pumping through your brain. You're not on your computer while you're walking around the house. Just get a cable. It will save you a lot of health issues, a lot of headaches. You sleep better at night time. And again, I know this all feels and seems like doom and gloom, but it is very important that we start taking steps and moving forward with action and words. Words are the most powerful thing that we have because they lead to the action that needs to be taken. Don't ever suppress your words. Don't ever allow anyone to tell you to be quiet. When you know the truth, you speak and you get those words out, because whether they're listening or not, subliminal message is very powerful. You let that energy, you let those words flow, and that is going into their brain. Whatever they're saying at the time, they are receiving that information, and you can't unhear that. And that's the same with everything you watch on TV, everything you hear on the radio. That is subliminal messaging, and it's going into your subconscious mind. Spirituality, astrology, astronomy, all leading to the self. As above, so below. Learn about the self, what you are. You are a fountain of life. You are a sun that is shining. All these things are so important to mankind and where we come from, and they affect us so much. And we're told that they don't, but they do. That is everything. We are one organism. We are one planet, and we are organisms of that planet, which is the Earth. We come from the Earth. We come from the elements. That is what we are fundamentally. There is no two ways about it. Doesn't matter what your beliefs are. That is scientific. That is fact. That's why what you eat affects you so much. Space exploration and protection. We need to start looking into space exploration, or we don't need to, but we can. Once we remove all the wars, we can start looking into space exploration, which is the next step for human mankind. That is the next step evolutionarily. There's no reason why we aren't doing that. And protection as well. Space protection, we need to be looking at space programs that are designed for protection from near-Earth asteroids, comets and things of the like. You only have to look at one of my photos of the moon and you will see thousands of impact craters from comets and asteroids. And we do receive them here on the planet. We just haven't seen one in our time actually impact with a significant effect in this lifetime. But it does happen, and we do have the technology and the ability to avoid that and to preserve human beings as a species. We need to be looking forward into that and allocating a lot more funds that are currently being allocated to that, in my opinion. So that's the topics. Now, what I want to talk about is your entitlements just for being a sovereign human being of this planet, what you are entitled to, what you should be receiving, how you should be feeling. You should be healthy in the mind, in the body, in the soul. That is your natural right. That is what you are, and you have a right to know. You have a right to know. Talk about disclosure. We need to move into disclosure. If extraterrestrials are there, we need to be told. The only country that isn't disclosing is the US government, and we know that they are. A military machine. They control the oil and fossil fuels, and they are hiding disclosure, because if they disclose extraterrestrial, then what that means, the repercussions of that is free energy. That means anti-gravity. That means we have the capacity and the ability to move without fossil fuels, and that is the one thing that is being protected now is the money, the fossil fuels. But soon, there will be no question about it. It will come out, and that is coming. But I believe that the US government needs to make disclosure, and they need to put that out and let the people know what is coming. You You are entitled to roam and move around your country and your earth free, without paying tolls, without paying taxes, without paying fines, without paying for parking, without being told where you cannot sleep, where you can and cannot walk, where you can and cannot stand. That is your sovereign right as a human being. You have the right to drive, to move unmolested at all times. You have the right to freedom of speech. You have the right to use your voice, and you have the right to say when something is not right. You have the right to freedom of expression. You know, if you want to dance in public, you have that right to move your body as freely as you like. I saw this clip the other day of police arresting people for dancing in the US, and make no mistake about it, Australia, we are following in their suit. We are following their laws, and you know, people are literally being arrested on film for dancing. That is where we are at collectively. Again, because we are allowing it to happen. You have the right to protest. You have the right to form groups. You have the right to form communities. You know, we have these bikie laws that says you can't speak to this person if they have a record, or you can't speak to that person. You can't be in a group. How dare you tell me who I can speak to? How dare you tell anyone who they can speak to? You don't have the right, you know. Well, what is this law? It's not a law. You have the right to be in peace and to be left in peace without being harassed financially, without being harassed, you know, in any way. You have the right to explore nature, whether that be through plant medicines, again I speak of, whether that be however you like. You have the right to explore your natural sovereignty as a natural being of the planet. You have the right to bear arms, and at this stage, you know, I don't like guns. I don't like it, but the reason why that is put in the First or Second Amendment, whatever it was, whatever number it is, that you have the right to bear arms, the reason that is in place is so that the government cannot control and dictate to the people, so that the people of that country have the ability to defend themselves against any unlawful governance or action. And I strongly believe that you know, if that right is taken away, that is a big problem. That is complete control and dictatorship, and the people will then have lost all of their ways of self-defense. So this must not happen at all. You have the right to divinity, not slavery, and what that means is you have the right to live in peace, eat clean, healthy food, to just be without having to work if that's not what is resonating with you. You know, if people want to work and earn and make more and have bigger things, then that is their right as well, and that is beautiful. But also on the contrary, people have the right to live in peace and freely, you know, without having to pay. All the resources are there. Money is just numbers on a screen. It's just plastic. It's not a resource. It's something that we've made up. So it means the resources are there. The technology is there. Money is just a tool. But at the moment it's controlling, you know, the population, and it's making us believe, because of this money, we believe that we can't have this because we don't have this thing that was made up on a computer. But fundamentally, we have that right and the resources, and we need to look at providing that to the people. And you have the right to love freely. You have the right to love whoever you want, whenever you want, whatever feels natural to you, as long as all parties taking action are consenting and happy with what is going on, then you have the right to love, and that's what we're here to do, is to love. That's where this video comes from, is for love for you people and this planet, and it makes me feel good. So how do we move forward? How do we get through all these limiting things, all these things that are keeping us in this certain age that we're in? How do we move through it? And the answer is a natural one, and it's very simple because it's natural. It's so simple, that it's almost hard to believe. The way that we move forward is we shift our beliefs, we shift our mind, and we believe, because we know that it is available, we know it is there. All we need to do is believe it. And when enough people believe it, then it's going to happen. It has to happen naturally. When enough people believe it and speak it and act on it, it will happen naturally, because there's no other way. It can't not happen. You cannot have a population of people that are aware and awake and know what they are entitled to and know what is available to them, and have a governance that won't provide that, because they can't do that. They won't do it, because you people are what you hold the governance up. The governance is there to serve you. They are not above you. Actually, they are below you. They are servants to you. Anybody in a position of public service is a servant. Public service. That is what they are there for. They're not below you on a human level, but they are there to serve the people. And if they no longer want to do that, then they need to step down and they need to move out of the way so someone else can do it. So it's that simple. We need to educate ourselves. We need to know what is available, and we need to speak about it. That's all we need to do. We just need to speak. We don't need to get in the streets. We don't need to protest. We have social media. We have internet. There's no need to disrupt other people's lives. There's no need for it, because we have the power right here. We just need to speak it and make other people aware of it. Share this video. Share videos like this. It's information. Knowledge is power. That statement is so true. Knowledge is power. And it comes back to knowing thyself. You are this fountain of life that comes from the earth. You weren't put here to work for 65 years of your life, like they have you going. You go to preschool when you're 3, and then you work until you're 65. And then if you're lucky enough not to have Alzheimer's, like the other 420,000 Australians, that's increasing by 244 per day. And I'll just say that fluoride in the water is actually a cause of Alzheimer's. That is fact. That is proven. That is a side effect. I didn't touch on that earlier. I meant to, but that's the fact. I believe moving forward that we can form groups of people. We can build houses. So if you had a group of 20 or 30 people, you can go and build, say, 5 or 10 houses a year, and each one of those people is going to get a house. The resources will be supplied by the government if it cannot be afforded, because that is what they are there to do. And if you have all these groups building these houses for each other, they will be set up in a house within 5 or 10 years. You know, there is no need for a 30-year mortgage. There's no need for it, because we can do it ourselves. We don't need money to build a house. The resources are there. You know, we have the knowledge. It's just the belief. So once we need to come back to ourselves, we need to understand what we are, what we're worth, and we need to act on that and just remember and speak of that. Majority rules. You know, once enough people remember what they are and what is available to them, you know, a life of freedom, you know, free energy, a free home, like no slavery, no debt. We don't need to work for 65 years of our lives. You know, the average expectancy of an Australian is about 84 and a half. So what are you expected to work, you know, for 65 years? You know, so 65 is when you can get the age pension. So you're supposed to work for 65 years, and then you can have 20 years if you're lucky, you know, to make it to that age, or you make it to 100. But all those years, like your youth, you're growing up, you know, when you're a child, you know, that is your most creative. That is when everything is happening. Child, adolescent, you know, these times that are being structured by this system. You know, you're being taught timings. You know, you go to school, you do your work, then you have your play lunch, so then you go to do some more work, then you have lunch, then you do more work, and then you go home. You know, like it's like your job. It's just programming. These are just programs, and we're it's so ingrained that we forget that it doesn't have to be this way. And if the government does not want to go along with it, then that's fine. We will just go around them. We don't need them. You know, they're there to serve us. If they're not going to do their job, then we just go around them and we start again. You know, we're probably going to need to start again anyway, because we're so deep, you know, in where we are. We're going to have to start again. How can you help? How can you help? What difference can you make? You can share this video. You can speak. Anyone you speak to, you just let them know what is available. You know, you say, I was listening to this crazy guy on Facebook, and he said that we can have this and we can have that, and you know, how good would that be? Go away. And that was my phone ringing. Yeah, we have, you know, just speak. That's all you need to do, is use this tool, which is the most powerful, because this leads to action. So just speak. That's all you need to do. You know, you don't need to get angry. You don't need to protest. You don't need to do anything. Just speak. Share knowledge. Anything you come across that is important and uplifting, you share it, and that's it. You know, you deserve everything. You deserve abundance. You deserve freedom. You deserve health. You know, it's our natural right. Again, I'm saying it, but that's what you deserve. You deserve peace, and you deserve love, and you deserve to be heard. You know, you deserve to be heard. And once this starts taking place, you know, this planet is going to be so balanced and so harmonious. You know, most of the systems that are in place now are going to fade away. They're not going to be necessary. They are going to go. There is going to be new systems in place, but they are going to be there to honour the people of the planet and the planet itself. And there will be balance. There will be peace, and there will be harmony. There's people that have been working on the peripherals in the background for years and years and years for these reasons. There are people doing such amazing work out there. There are so many. I call them angels. Because their intention is so pure. Their intention is for the people and the planet, and there's a lot of them. They are very powerful. They know how to use energy. They understand it. They're very intelligent, and they have been working for you. Without recognition, without anything, but that the systems are there. There are systems available, and we just need to sort through and find the ones that are going to be the most beneficial for us. And that's about it. I've got probably about another 5 minutes now. This is probably one of the most important parts of the video. And what we're going to do now is we are going to address our government. We are going to address our politicians, our public servants. We are going to address them right now. And we are going to give them notice, and I would like support through this. If just comment yes or no, or however you feel. But I'm going to read through this now, and I have it written down. So this is an address to our leaders, the leaders of Australia, of the world, politicians, our judges, our public servants, our military, our law enforcement. And I urge you not to concern yourself with the terminology in the legal sense, because natural law does not concern itself with spelling or words, but you will feel what I say because you know it is true, and you know that natural law reigns supreme. Herein lies the will of the people. To all public servants, politicians, justice systems, law enforcement, military, personnel and police, and people, all people. It is the will of we the people that you shall act in accordance with natural law and that of the Constitution, acting in and for the best interests of we the people, being natural sovereign beings of this land and earth. That all laws and bylaws serve the living natural person first and foremost, above and before any and all corporations, companies, or material goods. That any and all laws and bylaws not serving the best interests of the people be removed immediately, and all persons affected by said laws be released and freed from any bondage, monetarily or physically. It is the will of we the people that you take immediate action to correct and remove, if necessary, any and all systems, industries, companies, corporations that produce or supply harmful, toxic, consumable products, including but not limited to medication, food, water, and air. It is the will of we the people that you disclose any information regarding extraterrestrial life, free energy, clean energy, and there is no more hiding information from the public. It is the will of we the people, witnessed here on this 29th of November 2017 before the Prime Creator of the free will universe, that you pledge your allegiance to the service and protection of we, the sovereign beings of this land, the people. If you choose not to pledge, and that of natural law and the Constitution, you must step down and surrender your position. So help you God. Should you choose to remain in your position from the date of the 29th of January 2018 onwards, and you do not honour the will of we the people, the sovereign beings of this land, you will be liable for prosecution and imprisonment until such time as your rehabilitation. Should you choose to ignore this instruction put to you by we the people, witnessed by the prime creator of this universe, you will be liable for obstruction of natural law of the highest order from this day forward, until you face the charges in this realm or the next. This is the will of we the people, so be it. My apologies, I did not read the comments as I had so much to get through. I will read the comments and I will respond to them. But that is the end of this video, of this transmission. And please, if you got something from this, share this video. This is probably one of the most important things that is happening in today's day and ages. It's no time to be shy. It is time to act and move forward. The Golden Age is coming. We are moving into it as we speak. It has been beginning for a long time, but we have turned the corner and we are moving up. And the powers that be, they understand, they recognize, because they know that they are governed by natural law, regardless of what they own or think they own. You know, nothing can be owned in this land. It is all property of the earth. I thank you all for watching, and please share this video and bless you, and let's get excited. Let's get excited about our future, because it is a beautiful, beautiful future that we have coming. And I love you all, and I'm so grateful for all that you have done for me and the earth. Everyone who's supported me in my journey and has allowed me to support them. I have now delivered my message, and I am here in support of the people. I will serve the people with everything I have, if that's what the people want. If you want that, then I am here for that. But now your job is to speak and to share, and that's it. And now we move forward. And again, that is the end of my transmission, and thank you very much. Much love, and may the Prime Creator watch over you always. Divine blessings.